Welcome, educators and future administrators, to our comprehensive exam preparation series for the Tgpsc Deputy Educational Officer and Gazetted Headmaster Grade 1 Recruitment. Today, we are deep diving into Paper 2, Part A, Basic Foundations of Education. Our core focus will be on the constitutional context, the RTE Act 2010, and national education policies. Let's get started. Question 1. Which constitutional amendment act made elementary education a fundamental right under Article 21A? The correct answer is the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, 2002. As a strategic point for your evaluation, remember that this landmark amendment inserted Article 21A into our Constitution, declaring that the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children aged 6 to 14 years. Question 2. Under which entry of the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution is education currently placed? The correct answer is entry 25 of the concurrent list, also known as List 3. Education was officially moved from the state list to the concurrent list via the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. This crucial shift allows both Parliament and state legislatures to enact educational laws concurrently. Question 3. What is the exact official title of the legislation commonly referred to as the RTE Act? The correct answer is the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act, 2009. Enacted by Parliament in August 2009, this foundational legislation outlines the specific modalities and legal mandates to ensure free and compulsory education for children between the ages of 6 and 14 in India. Question 4. On which specific date did the Right to Free and Compulsory Education, or RTE Act, officially come into force? The correct answer is April 1, 2010. With the enforcement of this act on this specific date, India joined a select group of countries worldwide that guarantee education as a legal, justiciable right for every single child. Question 5. Which article under the Directive Principles of State Policy originally directed the state to provide free and compulsory education? The correct answer is Article 45 of the Indian Constitution. For your exam evaluation, keep in mind that post the 86th Amendment, the scope of Article 45 was updated to target early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. Question 6. What percentage of seats must private unassisted schools reserve for children from economically weaker sections under RTE Section 12, Subsection 1, Clause C? The correct answer is a minimum of 25% of seats. This specific provision mandates private entry-level classes to admit disadvantaged and weaker section children, serving as a powerful tool to promote social inclusion and equity across communities. Question 7. Which section of the RTE Act 2009 strictly prohibits physical punishment and mental harassment of a child? The correct answer is Section 17 of the RTE Act. Specifically, Section 17, Subsection 1 states that no child shall be subjected to physical punishment or mental harassment, making any violation subject to strict disciplinary action. Question 8. What is the mandated pupil-teacher ratio, or PTR, for primary schools, covering classes 1 to 5, according to the RTE schedule? The correct answer is a 30-to-1 ratio, meaning 30 students per 1 teacher. As an extra test-taking tip, remember that for upper primary classes, from classes 6 to 8, the statutory ratio scales up to 35-to-1 to maintain quality instructional contact. Question 9. Under the RTE Act, what is the minimum number of instructional hours per academic year mandated for upper primary classes? The correct answer is 1,000 instructional hours. To compare this for your revision, primary school requirements stand at 800 instructional hours per academic year, which are distributed over a minimum of 200 working days. Question 10. Which fundamental duty regarding education was added to Article 51A by the 86th Constitutional Amendment? The correct answer is Article 51A, Clause K. This addition structurally mandates that a parent or guardian must provide opportunities for education to their child or ward between the ages of 6 and 14 years. Question 11. What is the curricular framework structural design shift introduced by the National Education Policy, or NEP, 2020? The correct answer is the 5+3+3+4 structure. Replacing the legacy 10+2 system, this modern framework divides schooling into 4 distinct stages: foundational for 5 years, preparatory for 3 years, middle for 3 years, and secondary for 4 years. Question 12. Which national statutory body is responsible for regular monitoring of a child's right to education under the RTE Act? The correct answer is the NCPCR, which stands for the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Working alongside state commissions, or SCPCRs, These statutory bodies hold civil court powers to examine and review legal safeguards under the law. Question 13. Which national education policy first recommended the allocation of 6% of gross domestic product, or GDP, toward educational spending? The correct answer is the National Policy on Education, or NPE, 1968. Based on the historic Cawthorey Commission reports, this 6% public spending target has been explicitly reaffirmed by both the 1986 policy and the newer NEP 2020 frameworks. Question 14. Which section of the RTE Act 2009 specifies that the medium of instruction should, as far as practicable, be in the child's mother tongue? The correct answer is Section 29, subsection 2, Clause F of the RTE Act. This legislative rule emphasizes localized comprehension pedagogy, a vital concept heavily reinforced by the multilingual guidelines of NEP 2020. Question 15. What target year has NEP 2020 set for achieving 100% gross enrollment ratio, or GER, in preschool through secondary school education? The correct answer is the target year 2030. The policy maps clear access milestones to ensure universal physical and operational coverage across all school levels by the end of this decade. Question 16. Which constitutional article explicitly states that no religious instruction shall be provided in any educational institution wholly maintained out of state funds? The correct answer is Article 28, Clause 1 of the Constitution. This standard plays an essential role in safeguarding our secular structures and preventing mandated theological doctrines within state-funded public institutions. Question 17. Which apex institutional body is designated to develop the National Curriculum Framework for School Education, or NCERT? The correct answer is NCERT, the National Council of Educational Research and Training. NCERT structures core pedagogical principles, translating macro policy mandates into actual textbooks, syllabi, and teacher toolkits. Question 18. What is the legal minimum number of working hours per week required for a school teacher under the RTE framework? The correct answer is 45 hours, which includes both teaching and preparation time. This weekly statutory metric enforces structured time blocks for active learning planning, evaluation, and directly supervised classroom instruction. Question 19. Which article of the Indian Constitution protects the right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice? The correct answer is Article 30 of the Constitution. Specifically, Article 30, subsection 1 grants all minorites, whether based on religion or language, the absolute fundamental right to establish and maintain their distinct institutional systems. Question 20. Under Section 28 of the RTE Act 2009, what specific professional activity is strictly barred for practicing government school teachers? The correct answer is private tuition or private teaching activities. This structural prohibition aims to prevent conflicts of interest and ensure teachers focus their energy entirely on their public school responsibilities. Core foundations complete. High-yield mastery attained. You have successfully reviewed the 20 most critical constitutional, structural, and regulatory policy aspects of modern Indian education. How did you do today? Share your score in the comments below, and let us know if you cracked all 20 policy questions. Coming up next is Paper 2, Part B, focusing on educational leadership, administration, and management. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tgpsc Mastery for structured daily syllabus breakdowns and premium study assets. Keep studying smart, and see you in the next session.